What's up, guys? This is Ashton with Freedom Fitness Equipment here with another no-holds-barred review of the Star Trac 4 Series treadmill.
Let's go.
All right, so this is a no BS review of the Star Trac 4 Series treadmill. Because we are an official core dealer, I wanted to give them a little bit more publicity and show you some commercial stuff that you've never seen before in the home gym. The Star Trac 4 Series treadmill is really a beautiful treadmill. Back in the day, I would not have said that Star Trac looked pretty. But the 4 Series is definitely a step up from the previous iteration of the cosmetics. So you'll look at the plastic on the handles here. You'll see the body design is a little bit more sleek and rugged. And then you can see as far as the body styling and functionality with cup holders and all that good stuff, it just looks like a nice treadmill that you want to have either in your home or in a commercial setting. The main attraction for me to any of these 4 Series models, the treadmill, the elliptical, the bike, is they are, with a few exceptions, amazingly easy to put together and cross-compatible.
Yeah, baby! That's what I've been waiting for. That's what it's all about. Woo!
To put this treadmill together, you essentially have to connect the top frame to the bottom, put on some plastic parts, and run the wires, and you're done. A lot of other treadmills, Landis comes to mind, have a ton of bolts, screws, and other hardware that need to go up and around here and down towards the bottom. Now, don't get me wrong, Star Trac does have that, but it's not near the extent of some other brands. The other nice feature about these treadmills is these screens are upgradable. So you can go with basic screen, you can go with a touch screen, or you can go with the super fancy connected touch screen, which has TV functionality, apps, and a bunch of other stuff built into it. One of the other features I really love is the durability of this particular model. So for any of you fat asses sitting on the couch wanting to get up and do some good cardio,
You weird, buddy.
this treadmill is rated to 450 pounds, which is unheard of. Most of the Light Fitness, the Precor, True, they're rated for about 400 pounds. If you've heard of those brand names, this is 450 minimum. In the light commercial space, which is essentially what this treadmill is, that weight rating is unheard of. It's only gonna be in the 350 to 400 pound range. So I can put a firefighter or a police officer in full gear on this treadmill. It doesn't matter, it'll stand up to the pounding that it's gonna take without compromising.
Wow! Beautiful!
If you look inside, I mean, it's a motor, a belt, and a motherboard down here. Easy to work on and adjust the belt tension if anything goes wrong. And again, if you take this screen off, there's basically a plastic shell and a few wires in the screen. So from a simplicity standpoint, it doesn't get any simpler than this build product. Here's the reason you should think about buying a Star Trac 4 Series treadmill over, say, a residential model or even some of the beefier commercial models. If you're investing in a new treadmill, you want something with longevity and history. I've talked about this with other clients before. If you want a piece of cardio or a piece of strength, you generally want to stick with a company that's been around for a while. There's a lot of Amazon brands out there that are real crappy. You can get cheap walking treadmills or cheap running treadmills for, you know, a few $100s, which is mind-blowing. But if you really want to invest in longevity and you're a runner or you're a sprinter or an athlete or you just somebody who's trying to get fit at home and you're looking at new equipment, there is almost no better option than this treadmill for either the home or for a commercial setting. Let me explain why. I don't know if you can see it in the video here, but this little pronged connection cord is a regular household 15 amp plug. This can plug into your home's circuitry, your electronics, with no issues. Normally, this plug would be turned sideways and it would be what's called a T-plug. And in that case, you can't plug this into a household, you know, electrical outlet. You have to get an electrician to come in and replace those parts, and that freaking sucks. So what I like about this treadmill is it's commercial grade, has a great weight rating, and you don't have to worry about messing with your electronics. Now you need to make sure it's on its own little circuit. What does that mean? I'm talking mumbo jumbo. If it's on its own circuit, that means nothing else is plugged into that outlet or that line in your home. But as long as that's the case, this thing will keep running for years and years and years. Warranty's great, support's great, easy, like I said, easy to put together. And for home use, this build, I mean, we've had very few issues with people coming back and complaining about this particular model. One thing you also can't beat is the pricing on this. These retail for, I believe, about $34.99. You can get NordicTrac, Proform, I'm sure a bunch of other treadmills for a lot less. They won't last nearly as long. I've told people about this before. NordicTrac stuff, it'll break in like 6 months to a year. I've seen ex-NFL players crack the tread in half on NordicTrac treadmills. I've never heard of anybody cracking the board on this 4 Series. It just doesn't happen. Also, in terms of space, if you're a homeowner or a personal training studio and you want to make sure that that freaking treadmill can fit inside of your studio, most of your doors are super freaking narrow. They're about 34 inches, maybe 36 inches if you have a front door.
My disappointment is immeasurable.
This treadmill, side to side, 32 inches. You could fully assemble this thing, roll it into your home, roll it into your training studio, roll it into your commercial facility, and you are done. Now, I just told you all the things that I love about this treadmill, but it is not without its drawbacks. So here's where we get to the juicy stuff. And Star Trac, if you're listening, pay attention. I mentioned putting it together is very easy, and yes, that is true. However, when you are putting it together, we have noticed, we've done probably hundreds of these by this point, there are some issues with build quality or quality control on, say, bolt holes.
How? How did they think that was okay to even
If you're putting this together and you're putting in the uprights to the lower frame, occasionally we'll notice that the holes aren't tapped properly.
Do me a favor, please. Get out of here.
Or they've powder coated over the threads, making it really annoying, and so you have to tap them out and re-thread the bolt holes and then screw the bolts in.
Huh?
Doesn't happen often, but it happens often enough where it gets annoying for us as installers when we're putting it together. So if you're gonna buy one of these and you have a local delivery person or somebody who can put this together for you, make sure they check out the unit, and if they're doing the install for you, make sure they put it together first before they send it your way. That way you don't run into any of those kind of problems.
Me personally, I wouldn't take this level of disrespect.
The other issue I've noticed is the instruction manual. So the instruction manual shows you how to do a few little things with the screen and how to connect all the wires, but there'll be like a couple of wires that just, they don't have clear instructions on where to put what where. And there's a couple that if you get a nicer screen, you would hook up. But the rest are just unnecessary. They're just hanging out. And there's no clear indication in the instructions like, okay, you know, you've connected A, B, and C. There's 2 more wires that we don't talk about. Don't worry about those. You need to have like different iterations of the console in the instructions to show like, connect this here, connect that there. So I don't like it from that standpoint.
It is what it is.
The last thing that I'll mention is if you get this unit shipped to you and you don't buy it from a local distributor or you don't buy it from somebody directly, be warned. The shipping directly to you is gonna come in a box, roughly this size, and it's gonna come with cardboard feet. So this unit comes not on a pallet, but in its own cardboard box with cardboard feet. And let me tell you, freight companies are not easy on that box. They'll punch holes in the box. They'll destroy the feet, so it'll be lopsided when it arrives. You may see some damage on the unit when it gets to you. Not something we run into all the time, but it's enough to where it has been annoying. My recommendation for you is if you're gonna get one of these treadmills, buy it from a local distributor, have them ship it to that location and get it assembled, make sure everything's good. Do not have it shipped directly to your house unless you're kind of handy and you want to put stuff together. And if you notice any damage when it arrives, note that on your bill, note that on the shipping, and make sure there's no damage to the unit, either to the box itself or to the unit itself on the inside with plastic shrouds and housing and that kind of thing. All right, so just so you know, it's not just me that's saying all this stuff. I'm gonna bring in our operations manager and one of our installers to talk about the things that they like and don't like about this particular treadmill. All right, this is Celso. This is one of our installers. What's going on, Celso?
How you doing today?
I'm good, man. Hey, I just wanted you to tell the people, so what are the things you like and don't like about the 4 Series treadmill from your experience in putting this thing together?
Well, for me, it's a very simple machine to put together. It's not that hard. It's not that complicated. Instructions are there. It's very, very easy. I would say for cons, though, it would probably be sometimes you'll come across certain models that will have where you have to kind of retape the screwing area and just kind of tap it so that the screws actually go in there. But other than that, it's actually a very simple machine to put together.
About how long would you say, for experienced installers, it would take to put one of these models together?
Probably about 15, 20 minutes, if that. Yeah.
Awesome. Very good. All right, guys, so there it is. The 4 Series by Star Trac. And you've got some information from one of our installers on how easy this is to put together. Phenomenal treadmill, phenomenal build quality, phenomenal brand. They've been around for 30 or 40 years. Highly, highly recommend. Aside from those 3 issues, which I pointed out, again, this is a fantastic piece, easy to put together, highly performing, exquisite model and great for as far as a value play. In my opinion, this is the best treadmill at this price point in the commercial space I have ever seen. So if you're a commercial gym owner, a training studio owner, health club, if you have a home and you really want a nice commercial grade treadmill, the Star Trac 4 Series by far is my recommendation to you for that environment. This is Ashton with Freedom Fitness Equipment. I'm out.